Welcome to my Vitality Path. I'm Reese Jensen. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and an orthopedic certified specialist. My channel is dedicated to improving health and physical well-being, specifically reducing the risk of falling using the principles of Tai Chi Chuan. Believe it or not, I've been practicing martial arts for 50 years. My dad put me in Kempo Karate when I was 9 years old to help me deal with being bullied. And I loved it from the very first class, and it solved the problem. I then moved on to Japanese Aikido and Kendo. In the 1990s, I started practicing Tai Chi with Parker Linnikin, and then moved on to working with Chris Luth, both Grand Masters here in San Diego. I'm certified to teach the Yang Cheng Man Ching short form and the Tai Chi for arthritis form that was developed by Dr. Paul Lam. Let's face it, in our modern and busy world, the one thing we don't have a lot of is time. So the idea of someone finding a Tai Chi class and learning an 81 move Yang style form over perhaps a year with a lot of practice is daunting for most. And for most of my patients, they aren't that interested in Tai Chi as a martial art. They just want to reduce the risk of falling down. So what I've done is taken my experience with Tai Chi and the literature and created a series of exercises and activities that utilize the beneficial elements of Tai Chi that you can do anywhere, anytime, with no equipment. Once you've learned them, you can do them anytime you want. They focus on the key elements that reduce the risk of falling, which are leg strength, ankle mobility, controlled weight shifting, and single leg stance time. Tai Chi has an array of activities that can be done slowly and in a controlled and safe way to promote these benefits. While Tai Chi was originally born out of Shaolin Kung Fu and has a martial arts foundation to it, to actually learn it to the point where you can use it as a self-defense system is incredibly difficult. It takes a long time, and you have to work with highly skilled instructors, grandmasters, things like that. Most people know Tai Chi to be what looks like a slow-moving or meditative martial arts form or kata. Tai Chi is like an onion. A Tai Chi master is not only just moving his hands and feet and body in a certain way, but he's thinking about an opponent doing certain things and that he's countering that opponent, and his breathing and his movement of energy through his body. And it's very complicated and very interesting, but not for most people. In addition to those four core elements that help reduce the risk of falling, Tai Chi offers other health benefits, such as relaxation, improved mental focus, decreased stress, lowered blood pressure, mild aerobic effect, increased core strength, and increased body awareness. And in the PT world, we call that improved proprioception or kinesthesia. So here are the 4 parts of my dynamic stability training program using Tai Chi to reduce the risk of falling. The first part is an active or dynamic warm-up that takes about 10 minutes. The exercises help loosen up your spine, your shoulders, your hips, knees and ankles in order to prepare you for part 2, which is the Tai Chi elements section. Part 2 is where we get into using the elements of Tai Chi, initially in a fixed stance or a static way with partial weight shifts, and then dynamically so we can work on full weight shifts and single leg stance. So the active warm-up, part 1, and the Tai Chi elements section, part 2, together take about 20 minutes. And that's really what's needed to get warmed up, improve some flexibility, work on a bit of leg strength, and get down to the basics of weight shifting and single leg stance to help reduce fall risk. Part 3 includes some advanced stretching of the hips and knees and ankles to allow you to get into deeper stances and hold positions longer with better endurance and less strain on things like your Achilles tendon and lumbar spine. And finally, part 4 is a group of more advanced dynamic stability training activities or drills designed to complement the Tai Chi Elements section and focus in on reaction time, leg strength, and better control of the center of gravity in multiplanar motion. So when you've learned all 4 parts of the dynamic stability training program and you put it all together, you have a 30-minute routine that you can do anywhere, anytime. You have the first section, which is an active warm-up, all done in standing. You can add in some of the advanced stretches to target areas where your flexibility needs work. You have the Tai Chi Elements section, both static and dynamic, which only takes about 5 square feet of room to perform. Then you have part 4, which are advanced stability exercises that can target your specific areas of deficiency, such as balance, leg strength, flexibility, and weight shift. So what you're going to find on my channel, My Vitality Path, is the complete program. The dynamic stability training program I've developed using the elements of Tai Chi Chuan to help reduce the risk of falling. The instructional videos will teach you how to safely perform all 4 parts of the program. You can use them as a reference anytime if you've forgotten how to do something. In addition to the instructional videos, you'll also find several videos with supportive content, things like the history of Tai Chi Chuan, falling, fall risk reduction, and human balance systems, and how as humans we actually do maintain upright posture and move in 3 dimensions without falling down every time. So I hope you enjoy dynamic stability training. If you like the content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.